This is underground music without a filter. Turn it up, let it bleed. And now, here's your host, Bill Damiano.
Welcome to Pennsylvania Rock Show, episode number 821. You just heard The King of Everything by The Rumble and Blood in the Water by 3 Leagues to Rome. You're tuned in on musicfrom412.com, buildscene.com, megarockradio.net, KFGD 107.1 on, St. Louis, Missouri. Sorry, I got distracted because I could hear my show. Who am I forgetting? KWradio.com, megarockradio.com. We're going to go with that. And on this week's episode is RC Allison. This is my second attempt at recording a show today, and none of them have worked correctly. But we seem to have RC on now, and we're going to go with the flow. So, first, RC, you grew up in the Philadelphia area?
I did. A small town called Collingdale, PA, just south, down near the airport, southwest of the city. And sleepy little town back in the 60s and 70s, not so much now.
And so you started cutting your teeth in music in the Philadelphia scene.
Yeah, if you were a musician growing up in the Philadelphia Delco area, more precise, you wanted to hook up with one of the major talent agencies, and then you would be playing all the big clubs in South Jersey primarily, some in Delco, some in across the line into Delaware, but that was what you were striving for if you were even somewhat serious about pursuing music in some way. So I did hook up with an agency, and over the years, probably from 1978 to 85, I worked with one agency in particular and played, up and down the East Coast, the rooms that they had. And if you went outside the rooms that the agency had, you would alert them to the date and then go visit them Monday morning and give them a 20% piece of the action kind of thing. But they kept you working, they kept you busy. And back then, if you weren't any good, you didn't work for an agency. You played corner bars and that sort of thing. But if you wanted to play all the big clubs, which were packed back then with kids, and we were kids, 21, 22, 23-year-olds, you went with an agency to play all the big rooms. And you can argue make that bigger money, but most of it went to your sound and light crew. Wasn't killing it making it as a musician financially, but was having a whole lot of fun.
We have
you played Delaware County, Philadelphia, and then you moved to the Jersey Shore for the summer. If your band was lucky enough to be one of the maybe 100 bands playing Wildwood, Sea Isle, and that sort of thing, you moved to the shore and played all summer. You played Thursday through Sunday. Your band was booked with one other band, probably to split the night, and your contract came with lodging, and they were.
Oh, nice!
It was fun. It was a lot of fun memories, but I wouldn't call it lodging by an adult standard.
We have a guest that comes on occasionally, and he does the music news segment on Music from the 412. His name is Mick Michaels. He actually wrote a book called When Philly Rocked. And so I've heard some stories of that scene. Go
ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, Philadelphia, the city, in the late 70s and through, even into the 90s, it was more original things in the actual city. They didn't. You could find a cover band here and there, but a lot of the big clubs in the actual city of Philadelphia were original rooms. And when I moved out here to Pittsburgh, the the time frame seemed to run parallel. Like everybody talks about the big clubs up here in the 80s that had huge crowds for original music, and it all just kind of went away. And Philadelphia was the same thing. It was really big. The late 70s up into maybe 1989, 1990, and then kind of all just fizzled away. And now Philadelphia is really big for hip hop, and rap is huge there. A lot of talent in that genre coming out of Philly.
I've only been to Philly one time, and it was this past summer, and it was 100 degrees, and and that's mostly what I remember.
Yeah. When I moved here, everybody's like, "Oh, from Philadelphia, you don't know what a winter is like." And I say, "Yeah, we do. We get northeasters, and we got plenty of snow." And I remember skiing and sledding and ice skating. And I said, "You guys can't take the heat. If in Pittsburgh it goes up above 60, you guys are running for the AC. They can't cut it."
See, I like 72 is my number.
Yeah. Well, everybody does. Yeah.
So you sent me a picture of it, an image that I'm going to bring up on the screen here. Hopefully it'll cooperate there. Yay, it worked.
Okay.
So this is your album and each of the tracks. And what I want you to do is to tell me, and before you do, we are going to be playing, let me double check here, the order I have them in. We're going to play Black Cats and Cadillacs and then The River in the next, when we take our first break. So if you want to save those two until the end, because I'll let you talk a little bit more about them. But you want to, what can you tell us about the album?
The album, for years after pursuing original music and kind of walking away from the South Jersey Delco club scene, I was always playing in like power pop bands / punk bands, and put out a bunch of albums for that, and had a lot of fun playing rooms up and down the East Coast, New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, DC, up and down, playing clubs all the time. And The River, growing up in the 70s, you listen to everything. If you had an FM radio on, you're listening to Zeppelin, and right after that, there was a Cat Stevens song. And then right after that, there might be a Fleetwood Mac song. So you had a wide variety of music at the time. And me and colleagues would sit around on weeknights and just pass guitars around and sing. So I always liked acoustic music too. I put out an album called Jupiter Views with a bunch of acoustic material. And The River is selected tracks from that done in a full band format with a couple extra things thrown in there. So it's kind of a departure from what I used to do. But as far as punk rock and pop, power pop, been there, done that for a long time. And this isn't like me trying to do something new. I've always done this when I was a kid, and even as an early adult. We did rock and roll before there was a such thing as punk rock and power pop, and there's all these divisions, like for metal and hair bands and shoegaze and all that. This is all prior to that. So The River is original music, but a little bit more Americana, like maybe like I was hoping to do something kind of like Tom Petty, but or Mellencamp. And then when you start and you go at it, it's like, well, it doesn't sound like them. But it sounds like me doing something different. So The River's a departure musically, and it's just every song tells a little bit of a story, like growing up in America kind of thing.
Now,
if that helps.
Is this the track listing from the actual insert that we're looking at?
The image you have up?
Yes,
that's the track listing. And people for years like, where do you get your lyrics from, and what the hell is this song about? So and I got that for all the time. So I put this little card together. It's like, all right, what's he singing about? And I put that out, and a lot of people read it and said, that's even more confusing. You're not helping.
I love that. That's why I asked about it.
If you want to read one off, I can comment. I can't read that image, and I don't have it in front of me big enough.
let's go with Red Hook Road. It says "Girl Leaves Boy" song.
Yeah, it's a typical girl leaves boy song. Both of them know it's over, but the girl holds all the cards, and she's walking out the door. And well, at this point in the song, she's not only out the door, but she's gone. And it's the leftover guy singing about it a little bit, and the last verse of the song, he's like, that kind of bites, but I'll get over it, kind of thing. So girl leaves boy song.
So let's talk about Black Cats and Cadillacs.
Okay.
Just real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the river after we've listened to the two songs.
Okay. I was walking in New Orleans, and it was maybe 10 o'clock at night. Just came out of having a nice dinner at a restaurant down there. And I'm walking, I couldn't tell you what street it was, but there was this old house, in the French Quarter, and all the windows were lit up with amber, and you could see through the windows. It was loaded with antiques and almost like going back in time. There was this old woman standing in the doorway as I was walking by. And we kind of I looked at her and she looked at me, but I kept walking. It wasn't like a huge interlude or anything, but I just kept walking. But then my mind started working with it. I wonder if she's a witch. There's a lot of witches down here. I wonder if I went back and asked her to show me her house, would she invite me in and tell me some stories? So that's Black Cats and Cadillacs in a nutshell. That's what inspired it, and then the lyrics are about everybody's nightmare, having nightmares and that sort of thing.
So that video on Music from 412,
yes,
I have watched that not only on the channel, but I have gone into our system that holds the video, and I have watched it multiple times. That's why sometimes it takes me a couple of weeks to get back to people who send me information. I respond to you pretty quickly. I was like, I love that song.
Well, I'm glad.
All right, so we're going to take our first break, and we'll be right back with RC Allison.
Okay.
Night at 10 o'clock. Didn't. Well, it was supposed to bring me back. It didn't. Much like everything else it's been doing today, it's not cooperating. So, with that said, you are tuned into the Pennsylvania Rock Show, episode number 821. We are in segment number 2. RC is with me. And we just heard his two songs, Black Cats and Cadillacs and The River. So tell us a little bit about the song The River.
The River's I was in Asbury Park on a Sunday, and there's a big old venue there. I'm not sure if it's what it's called, to be honest with you, but it's like crumbling into the sea. And I'm like, it's a magnificent old building. And I'm like, it's a shame they couldn't save it. And then I kind of walked around it, and they're still booking shows there, and big ones like Bon Jovi was coming. The Motley Crue was coming. I'm like, this place is going to fall into the ocean any minute, and still putting rock bands in there. They're going to rumble it into the ocean. So I was looking at that, and I was thinking, like, when this finally does fall into the sea, the building has lasted how many artists to perform there. So I started running down that road, and the river's kind of talking about the passing of grandiose old venues, but also it's kind of a metaphor for older musicians that are, crumbling and falling apart and have seen their better days. So if you listen to the lyrics, it's a little bit about a failing music venue that's seen its better days, but it's also about a musician that's seen its better days. So that's the gist of the river.
A lot of writers use flowing water as like the timeline of life. So kind of nailed that.
Okay.
My Spanish teacher taught me that in high school.
I had Spanish.
She also taught me architecture, but
yeah, I'm a huge fan of old architecture and old buildings. Or if we go to a strange town, I could just have fun walking around looking at old buildings if they're there, that sort of thing. They don't make them like they used to.
We were just on Case Western Reserve University's campus Thursday and Friday, and every building is different, but like we were in a it's called Harkness Hall. It's an old church that was built in 1902. Such a cool building. And the building right next to it looks like a castle, and then there's buildings that look like I can't think of the word right now, but like such a cool place.
Sure.
My son just committed there, so I'm gonna get to see it again. But all right, so I'm gonna hit you with some of my Pennsylvania Rock Show questions, and we're gonna start off with the official question, which is who is your Dave Grohl? And by that I mean, who do you want to go up on stage with and perform one of their originals?
Freddie Mercury, but he's gone. David Bowie, he's gone. So, and are they two giants? Is that too big of a bite to ask for?
No, you absolutely can choose them.
Yeah, I would choose Freddie Mercury.
And then the unofficial question is, what's the best pizza you've had because you're a musician?
Well, Pittsburgh. Now there are people going to want that to be a Pittsburgh answer, and Vinnie Pie is probably the most insane pizza that I've had up here. It's more of a stew than a pie, but a Vinnie Pie. I think it's called Vincent's, right?
Yes.
Over in I think that's Turtle Creek. And forgive me, I'm new to the area. I still haven't figured it all out yet. I've only been here 9 years, so you have to give me some slack. But routinely, I live up in Cranberry now, and Monticello's is where we order our pizza from. Okay. But if I had to pick one, it'd be a Vinnie Pie.
If you were able to sit down, and usually before I ask this question, I ask a question with the DeLorean and tell you that you can keep the DeLorean, but so you can time travel on this question.
Okay.
If you were to sit down with your musical idol, first, who would it be? And second, what would be the one question that you would ask to get the conversation started?
That's a tough one. I don't know. Again, I guess it'd be Freddie Mercury or David Bowie, and I don't know what I would ask them. They're legendary giants. I'll probably be like, hi. What do you say to these people? I mean, I'm doing shows throughout Philly. We would open for legendary acts, and like we opened for like the Sweet a couple times, and like going to Bunny Man, and you meet these people backstage, and I don't have that gift of gab. I never know what they ask these people. I'm like, oh, hi, great show. Like, yeah, okay, cool, big whoop. But I don't know, if I met Freddie Mercury, I'd ask him. Well, he made a comment in either an interview or in a movie, something about Marie Antoinette. Somebody asked him who he wanted to meet, and he said Marie Antoinette. And he said, "What would you ask about?" He goes, "Jewelry, of course." So I guess I'd ask him to expound on that if I had the chance. You have seen the movie recently, Bohemian Rhapsody. I was hesitant to see it because I didn't want to walk away with like, I used to really respect all the guys. Now I found out they were all a bunch of jerks, you know. But I actually watched it. I thought it was a great movie. So it answered a lot of questions. What I would have asked Freddie, I probably were already answered by that movie.
Since you brought up movies,
okay,
if they were making a biopic about you,
okay,
who would play you?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably some starving actor that needed to work. I don't know. People say I look like who's the first Batman? I forget his name.
Oh, Adam West.
Not the show, the movie. I should know this. Who played the very first Batman? I'm terrible with names, but I don't know who I'd want to pay me. And another thing, Bill, I'm not up on current pop culture, so there's probably an actor out there that would be perfect for the role, but I wouldn't know who he would be.
So not knowing your mannerisms or anything like that, I think Vincent D'Onofrio, who's currently playing Kingpin in Daredevil, would be a good choice for you.
Okay, I'll take it under advisement. Sure.
He was also in Men in Black. He was the alien that, if you've seen that movie.
With the first one?
Yeah, that
had
the Edgar suit. He looks a lot different now.
Oh, what'd you have to do that for?
Yes, that's one.
That's one of my favorite movies. That's a great movie.
All right, so we have about a minute left in this segment.
Okay.
I don't want to leave a question hanging, but let me give you a quick one. If I was driving your tour bus around, what bands would we listen to in between shows?
Okay. Mott the Hoople, David Bowie, Alice Cooper, New York Dolls, The Clash. This might surprise some people. ELO. So a lot of stuff from the 70s. You know, all the legends. And it'd be like, well, you're talking about the 70 legends. What about the Stones and Zeppelin? And this is going to turn people off, I guess. But I was never a huge Zeppelin and Rolling Stones fan. But Mott the Hoople is one of my favorite bands, and David Bowie and stuff like that. That's who we've been listening to.
Actually,
not a whole lot new.
Actually, just watched Becoming Led Zeppelin last night.
Oh, I watched that. Yeah. But I saw it was a good movie, and a lot of things that I didn't know about the band, and certainly didn't know about Jimmy Page, how influential he was on, put that whole sound together. I was like, holy smokes, that guy, he's one talented cat. But still didn't walk away any more of a Led Zeppelin fan than I am. I don't hate them. I just, if somebody told you like an alien landed tomorrow, we heard there's such thing as a rock band. What is it? Who do you show them? The Stones or Led Zeppelin? And
depends on if I want them to stay around.
Yeah. I think like if an alien ship say, what is a rock star? Whose picture would you show them, Bill?
Oh man, I'm gonna stick with you. I think I'd show him Freddie Mercury.
Okay.
Or maybe more contemporary, probably like Dave Grohl. Although really, I mean, the Foo Fighters been around for a long time too at this point. Wow. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm showing him Keith Richards. He's like
he's going to be around when the Earth blows up. So
this is what a rock star looks like.
Right.
Keith Richards.
So we're going to take our next break. We have one track we're going to listen to from Half Wheel. The name of the song is Rain, and we'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it's Bill. We're headed into segment number 3 of episode 821. With me is RC Allison.
Yes.
I'm trying to decide, do I need to say the last name? Should I not say the last name?
Yeah. Well, at this point, probably few people know about RC Allison or who he is. And so throwing the last name on there is probably really doesn't matter because nobody knows who I am anyway.
So I'm going to ask you sort of a 70s question.
Sure.
Sorta. So we just listened to Half Wheel and Jazz, who's on that album. He played their song Good Day at the South Pole. And Kiss, see, there's the 70s part. Kiss has played to sharks in a bay in Australia.
Okay.
And Metallica has played in Antarctica as well. And numerous bands have played on skyscrapers and all kinds of non-traditional venues. If you could play a non-traditional venue, where would you want to play?
You got some puzzling questions, William. Well, you know what place I really would like to play would be the Royal Albert Hall in London. Would be kind of like a dream to play there. Would be a place I would want to play. There's nothing exotic about it, but a lot of the big the major bands from the 70s, they all played in Royal Albert Hall. I don't know if does that answer your question.
It works.
Yeah. I mean, there's no sharks or icebergs there, but who shows up to a show in Antarctica? Who you playing? A handful of scientists.
I can tell you, when Jazz played, he was on an adventure. He has a show on Music from the 412 called Jazz's Rock and Road Show, and as he's traveling for the company that he owns, he does sound and lights for conferences. As he's traveling, he will take us as the viewers through the city and introduce us to things. And for that particular set of episodes, there were, I think, 4 or 5 of them. And they actually won a Telly Award, which is an internet television award. But he was on that trip in Antarctica, and he played an acoustic song of Good Day off of one of the Half Wheel albums, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Metallica, I'm sure that was televised.
You don't think they could take the cold?
I mean,
are you playing the Emperor Penguins out on the ice? That's what I want to say.
All right, so let's see. If you were asked to describe your sound,
my sound?
Yes.
Okay.
How would you describe it?
I always describe the most current material as rock Americana, and people ask me, like, all right, I hand them off the CD, like, what's it sound close to? I say, well, kind of like Milligan, If you like Mellencamp, you like this. If you like Petty, you might like this, that kind of thing. So I just call it rock and roll, or excuse me, even pop. And I think pop gets a bad rap because of all the huge pop artists. When you think about it, the Beatles are a pop band. Then I would call it pop rock, I guess. Melodic, two guitars. If you like guitars and you like melody, you'll like my material.
We have
and harmonies. Yeah, big on harmony.
We've established on the show in the past that I'm not a huge Beatles fan.
Yeah.
But I recognize them for what they did and what they brought to the music. It's just not my thing.
I was a huge Beatles fan until I worked for 2 years with a Beatles tribute project. So, kind of, yeah, used to like the Beatles. Now can't listen to them now.
I do want to, before I forget, to pull up your website just to show it real quick to everybody. And let's see. I probably should have checked this before I clicked on it. Yep, I should have. Do you have any upcoming shows?
No. I really want the music to stand on its own before I could put a band together. I have a handful of people that said they would do it. So you ask them and you rehearse it and you get it tight and it's ready to go. And then, all right, well, if it's my project and my material and all these colleagues have been gracious enough to learn the material, like, all right, well, book it. We already learned it. I'll book it. I'm like, where am I going to book it? It's So I think I'd rather have the music sell itself first. And then if there's a enthusiasm for it, and then that's when it'll be time to put a band together. But I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with the music scene and music scene here, when the music scene in Philadelphia is all the same. It's you could get to open up to this National Act on Thursday, but make sure you bring all your grandparents, aunts, and uncles and kids.
Yes,
I'm not doing it. Been there, done that. Doesn't get you anywhere really, and in my opinion. And if some point, the river or Black Cats and Cadillac catches fire, then there's going to be a demand for live performance. But I really have little interest of struggling at my age to do it one more time. And live performance is what I like best of the whole mix. I don't like the studio. I like songwriting, but I hate the studio. I certainly hate mastering doing the final mixes. It's monotonous, and I really like live performance. But it's just let me open for somebody at Jorgles, and I'll even play for free. But don't stop me at the door or the stage. Where's your money for the 30 tickets you promised to sell? Like, no. I don't want to do, and I don't have 30 friends up here to sell tickets to. If I was to sell tickets tomorrow, it's going to be to musicians that I've worked with up here, and they're all working anyway. So who am I going to sell 30 tickets
to? You kind of described my take on this show, which is why I do it live. I hate editing.
Yeah.
So I do it live because then it's out there and the mistakes are part of it. I say it's raw and it's supposed to be.
I work with a gentleman, Mike Shear, who's a talented singer-songwriter in his own by himself. And I asked him to do this when I was putting Jupiter Views together, if he would play guitar as a sideman. I said, I got these songs. I want to put out an album. I don't want to do it solo. All the songs are written for two guitars. Would you be interested in doing it? He said, sure. So he learned all the material. We did a handful of shows. And then we also put together a 3-set night of doing acoustic covers. So we do that, and I book that here and there as well. But even that's it's like a second job. I found it to be very time consuming to reach, even with the internet, reaching out to all these clubs and telling them who you are, waiting for them to get back in emails and stuff. I'm like, you know what? I don't have the time, and I don't have that much interest anymore. It's I love music. Will always play, but jumping through 17 hoops of fire to play a corner bar, like, no, not doing it.
So the photo I used for the cover has you and another gentleman playing guitar from Rocky's show. Is that who that
Mike
is?
Shear. Yeah, it's Michael
I had
Shear.
a feeling.
Yeah.
So
he's a talented cat. Yeah. And the main thing was I needed a guitar player that can sing harmony. So, which I knew he could do. And when I asked him, he said, I've never played an acoustic an act, but let's do it. And he had to go out and buy acoustic guitar, because he didn't even own any. or the one he owned was like kind of like one that was collecting dust in the corner. And so I was flattered that he said yes, for as talented as he is. And he's a songwriter, again, on his own. Some of his material is really good. And, you know, there's another thing, like, why isn't he getting national airplay kind of thing? A lot of talent in Pittsburgh.
I agree. This is the 21st year that I've been doing this show, just talking to bands from the area. What was his name one more time?
Michael Shear.
Michael Shear.
And he's had bands in the Pittsburgh area for years. One was called Sheer Element. they all dressed up in this, they played under black lights, and they all dressed up in these skeleton outfits. And it's like, this is great. And he's like, when can I come see it? He goes, that project ended 3 years ago. Like, damn it, I would have went to see that.
Hey, so we're going to ride off into the evening. Is there anything that you want to throw out there before we do, though? Besides, go to rcallison.com and check out
all the music's there. You can listen to free, and wherever you stream music, it's free out there. Just where, you know, Spotify, Bandcamp, all them. I'm not a technical person, but I'm certain that, you know, somebody took care of it, and it's out there. You can find it. If not, just go to my website and you click on it and listen to it for free. If you like it, give me, you know, send me an email. Hey, liked it. Yeah, and password. Maybe at some point, maybe something from the album catches on, and then I can play live again.
All right. With that said, we're going to play one more track tonight. It is Pink Lemmy by the band Eris Paul.
I know them.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah,
yep.
I've seen them live a handful of times. They're amazing.
Yeah, they are.
All right. With that said, we're headed off into the evening. Make sure you go to buildascene.com and musicfromthe412.com for more of the Pennsylvania Rock Show. Jason Barna, Keith Leydig, Thomas Trainer, Nikki Praza, Jeff Brooks, and Jason Barna again. I listed them twice. Have all signed up for a chance to win 2 tickets to see Gunshine on Wednesday, April 15th, 7:30 showtime. Tickets are $14.85 to $31.65 at the Craft House Stage and Grill, courtesy of Dressy Entertainment. Opening acts will include Blood Union and Dark Harvest, both bands that get played here on the Pennsylvania Rock Show. It is an all ages event. If you haven't heard of them, I have found them on my Facebook Reels. They are an awesome band.